Hello, everyone. Okay, so I saw a tweet that Mr. Peter Obi did, His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi. He did to, bother Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And in that tweet, let me just read it the way it is. I did respond to that tweet and I decided, let me just bring it here, and talk about this thing. Because, first of all, while I look for the tweet, is to say to every one of us that, look, Mr. Tinubu did not rig election to come and give you people governance. He didn't rig election to come and solve anybody's problem. He rigged the election to have a ball, and that's exactly what he's doing. So Mr. Peter Obi put out this week. He said, Mr. President, domestic problems beacons. By the way, Tinubu is not my president. As far as I'm concerned, he's the illegitimate president, someone who rigged election and got himself sworn in. So Mr. Peter Obi said, I'm compelled at this time in our lives as a nation to call on our retreating president's attention to the security challenges at home. Retreating, I really retreating, because this one did not come anywhere to serve anybody. He just came to do the thing that he wanted to do. So he said, which entails that he immediately suspend his ongoing retreat in a foreign land and come home to address the overwhelming security situation across the country. The urgent call has become necessary following the rising incidents of crimes and criminalities all over Nigeria with an apparent absence of governance. I think calling it crime and criminality is actually underplaying what is really going on. It's outright terrorism, insurgency, terrorism that is going on. There's a massive killing that is being done out there. If it's crime where people are okay, one or two victims here and there, this crime in the course of a crime, life is taken. No, these ones are going out there to take life, and that's all they are interested in. And he said, in the 2 weeks you've been away, over 150 Nigerians have lost their lives to insecurity across Nigeria, especially in Plateau and Zamfara State. And I will just pause here, you understand, because mentioning this Plateau and Zamfara State, for me, brings me to the fore of something that we are doing that is extremely heinous. Maybe people don't understand, what it is. I put that out. I put that in a video that's going to come up at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. today, by the grace of God. And what I talked about, it was an advocacy I did on the place at the table, right? Looking at the killings, I said, look, we are having justification and politicization of deaths. So depending on where you are killed and who you are, sure, depending on where you're killed, it will mean whether your death will be taken as, oh, will be amplified, people will take it on, or it will be ignored. So I'm a Muslim. So as a Muslim, if I'm killed in Edo State, my village, like I go to my village, I'm killed, well, it's not Muslims here in Edo State, it really doesn't make noise. But if I were a Muslim who is from the northern part of the country and then I'm killed in Edo State, then it will make noise. They'll be like, oh, Muslims are being killed. Oh, they killed Northerners. Or, oh, they killed this. You understand? Likewise, if I'm Christian, and if I'm Christian and I'm killed in southern part of the country, okay, just say, okay, one or two this thing. But if I'm Christian and I'm killed in the northern part of the country, then that when I make news, it becomes, yay, they're killing Christians, yay, this. And then if I'm Muslim and I'm killed in Zamfara or Sokoto or Borno, nothing. That's heinous. We are not focused on that human beings like us are being killed. All we are interested in is that, oh, where is it from? Where is it not from? Urom is 16 human beings. I refuse to give them whatever part of the country they are. 16 human beings like you and I were killed in Oromi, were murdered in Oromi. This, jungle justice, they were burnt to death. Such a heinous crime. Some people then took it and made it, oh, it's Northerners that were killed, Northerners are being killed. They could write it, they could do. A week after 16 people were killed in Oromi, 16 vigilantes were also killed in Zamfara by the new Lakaruwa, how is it that they call it? Guess what? Silence. Their death didn't matter because, one, they are Muslims killed in Zamfara, so there was nobody to blame and say, oh, they couldn't say, oh, it's because they are Muslims, that's why they were killed there, because is it not their fellow Muslims that killed them? They couldn't say, oh, it's because they are Northern, that's why. Is it not in the north that they were killed? So we've been doing this thing again and again and again. And imagine what it is when we do this thing. You understand? When we do this thing, what we now do is that we give the criminals, we give the terrorists, we give the bandits, whatever, insurgents, whatever name you want to call them, kidnappers, whatever, we give them the enabling environment for them to keep killing us, because they know at the end of the day we are going to sit and defend it. They're going to have people in one way or the other that will defend it. So what we end up not having is that we are unable to have collective anger at what had happened. So when 16 people were killed in Uromi, it was not supposed to be about whether they are Northerners, they are Southerners, they are Christians, they are Muslims, they are whatever. That wasn't the business. The business was that human beings had been killed, had been murdered, gruesomely murdered, and something had to be done about it. But some people were defending it. Even when some people try to say that, oh, this killing, some look at it as, oh, Deborah, the way she was killed. Some are like, oh, no, Deborah, her case is different. How is it different? A human being was killed by a mob that had no right to take anybody's life. And they came out and they killed her gruesomely. You understand? The people justifying it, forget that. Others are also justifying this one to say that they sold them with weapons. The Uromi people have been crying of insecurity. Edo North, I can tell you, you can't even go to farm, you can't do anything, you can't do any of this. Killings have been going. I have been crying over the killings in Edo North and all of that. Uromi people have done lots and lots and lots of protests. Even the women have come out to do lots of protests against the killings that were going on. And then they see this one. But nothing justifies jungle justice, which is what some people do. At the end of the day, these things have really, be getting there. Let me go back to this thing. It says the repeated pipeline explosions in the Niger Delta further reflect a nation in distress. So it is the same pipeline vandalization that Mr. Tinubu unconstitutionally removed the elected governor, the way he was elected, an elected governor of Rivers State. People are quiet about this. They did to Ted Bruhaha. People are quiet about this. That's another bump waiting to happen and explode in our faces. Yet these things are going on. So Tinubu now should remove himself now. That's what it means. Tinubu should go ahead and just remove himself. In the northeast, Borno state leaders are bemoaning the return of insurgency, with troops and civilians being killed randomly. Yes, they've taken over territories again. The Boko Haram, you understand? The terrorists, they are taking over territories. They are killing our military. They are killing people in Borno. But Mr. Tinubu, of course, he didn't rig to save anybody's life. He didn't rig to save properties. Mr. Tinubu did not rig to solve problems. He rigged to enjoy himself. He rigged to have a blast. And a blast he's having. You can count the number of times that he has been out of the country. Count the number of times he has gone to France, as using presidential privileges that he's not supposed to have. Amid all this, the CEO of the troubling company called Nigeria is retreating far away land in France from the company's headquarters. The primary duty of any government is securing the lives and properties of its people, of its citizens. And one wonders what type of retreat going on in another country where peace has been secured by their leaders while blood continues to flow in our country. The fight for a better Nigeria is not about individuals. It is about ensuring that every citizen can see, feel, and benefit from the policies and decisions of those in power. I therefore like to urge Mr. President to quickly suspend whatever he is doing in France and rush home to take responsibility by addressing those disturbing issues. That is the new Nigeria that the nation seeks. A new Nigeria is possible. Signed by PO. Well, like I said earlier, Tinubu did not rig election to solve any problem. He rigged the election to have a blast, and that's what he's doing. Thank you for watching. Bye.